The Agricultural Sciences Department at Penn State will suffer dramatically if the budget cut goes through. The departments will likely decrease from 12 departments to 6. And because half their funding comes from the state budget, their operations will be jeopardized. The religious studies major will also be cut. All religious studies classes are being absorbed into the history major. Some people have proposed that a tax on natural gas drilling, particularly on Marcellus Shale, could have reduced some of the cuts to education. Governor Corbett, however, refuses to create friction with Marcellus Shale because it creates jobs. However, if it were to impose a drilling tax on Marcellus Shale, then the burden might not fall so heavily on cuts to education. Others have said that the budget should be balanced by completely cutting Penn State's funding. Scott Paterno, the son of football coach Joe Paterno, suggested in an article that the state slash all funding to Penn State in order to help support the other state schools and decrease costs across the board. From a fiscal standpoint, Paterno argues the budget could cut large amounts of money from Penn State's budget, but if one were to cut the same amount of money from the budget of a smaller state school, it would be more devastating to the smaller school since that amount of money would constitute a larger percentage of their budget. Furthermore, the 13 state schools besides Penn State are made up of a larger percentage of in-state students, so cutting from their budget would essentially mean cutting more money from Pennsylvania students, while cutting from Penn State's budget means cutting money from out-of-state students, allowing Pennsylvania to use them to solve its budget woes. While Paterno's solution may help deal with budget issues, what would the result of cutting all Penn State's funding be on the quality of the institution? The university, of course, needs funding to continue functioning at a high level. Currently, Penn State is ranked 15th out of all public schools in the United States, according to U.S. News and Report. The University of California, comprised of multiple universities, has 6 schools in the top 11, including the top 2, UC Berkeley and UCLA, and received $3 billion from the state in 2010. University of Michigan, the 4th best public school, received $363 million from the state of Michigan in 2010. Although cutting all of Penn State's funds would help solve a lot of problems with Pennsylvania's budget, if Penn State wants to be considered a top public university, it will need money from the state.